Hello everybody, welcome back to Reading for Vocabulary. Are you ready to continue talking about our subject of sports? Well, we're on lesson 4, the human machine. The human machine, it's like people are machines, right? Think about some famous athletes that you know, right? Like Park Ji-sung or Park Tae-hwan, right? The swimmer. They're like machines in the water or on the soccer field, right? How do they get to be such strong athletes? That's what we're going to focus on. How can someone become a great athlete? Well, of course, it's going to take a lot of hard work, right? But in the reading passage, we'll take a look at how someone becomes a great athlete. And if you want to become a great athlete, what can you do to become a great athlete? So we're going to take a look at that. But first, as always, let's take a look at the vocabulary. So our first vocabulary word is someone who plays a sport. We just talked about that, right? How can someone become a great what? What is this person? She is running. She is an athlete. She's an athlete. Okay, so pronunciation, athlete. If you compete in a sport, and that's like your, not just your hobby, but also sometimes your job, you're an athlete if you play sports well and you do it a lot. Okay, the ability to do something. The ability to do something, like if you have the ability to create such a beautiful sandcastle, right? We can say you have a lot of skill. Of course, athletes need skill, right? But also many other types of people need skill. Artists need skill. Engineers need skill. Lawyers need skill. Skill is something, it's an ability that you develop either through training, through practice, through study, but it's a skill. What kind of skills do you have, for example? Okay, number 3. Here's a signpost, right? The measure of space between two things, right? Buenos Aires is 7,270 kilometers that way. So when we measure the space between two things, we're talking about the distance, how far something is away. So from me to Buenos Aires or me to Busan, right? What is the distance? How many kilometers or how many miles, right? Okay. Next one, after some time. So when we look at this, what is this, by the way? This is a tadpole. Now, later on, this tadpole, we know, maybe you know, what will it become? It will become a frog, right? Ribbit, ribbit, okay? So, but it will take some time. Eventually. Eventually means after a certain amount of time, usually kind of like a long time. This tadpole is not going to become a frog right away. It's going to take some time. Eventually, the tadpole will become a frog. Eventually, young children will grow up to be adults. It'll take some time, but eventually it will happen after some time. Okay. Number 5, repeating something so you get better at it. Now, your English teacher probably always tells you this. What do they say? They say, practice, practice, practice. Okay, it's not just English. Piano, right? If you're learning to play a musical instrument, whether it's a piano, a trumpet, or whatever, you have to practice. If you're playing a sport and you want to get better at it, what do? You practice. So any skill, remember we talked about skills. Skills are abilities. How do you improve your ability? You practice. Whatever it is, you practice, you get better at it. So do it again and again, repeating it so that you get better at it. Okay, next one, number 6. Equal and even. If something is equal and even, we say it is balanced, right? It is perfectly balanced because it's equal and it is even on both sides. It's balanced. Sometimes, well, a little bit different idea, we can also say it's fair. If two soccer teams are playing, one team has 12 players, the other team has 8 players, it's not balanced, it's not fair. So both teams have to have 11 players, and that's a balanced team. That is a fair competition. Okay, next one, 7. Done all the way. So if something is finished, or if all the things are in place, we say that it is complete. Or something is done all the way, something is finished, a process. You can think about complete in different ways. In this case, we're thinking all the tools are in a set, or everything is together, it's complete. But you can also think about a painting. When the painting is finished, we say it is complete, it's finished. Okay. 8. Now this is very interesting, isn't it? This is how a butterfly comes out of the cocoon. Remember, before it was a caterpillar. So a caterpillar changes into a new state, into a butterfly. What do we say? We say becomes. A caterpillar becomes a butterfly. A caterpillar becomes a butterfly. A child becomes an adult. A tadpole becomes a frog. And become is an irregular verb, so we say become, became, become. Okay? Become, became, become. It's interesting that this is the same as the present tense, right? The past perfect. Okay. Next one, 9. There are many books here. Italy, Turkey, Beijing, Mexico, India. What are these books about? They tell you how to do something. They tell you how to travel through Italy. They tell you how to travel through Mexico. What is it? It is a guide. These books are guides to different cities. But a guide can be many different things. A guide can be a book. A guide can be a person, right? If you're on a tour, there's a tour guide who tells you and shows you the different places and how to look at them, or how to think sometimes about these places, or what to know. So a guide can be many different types of things. It shows you how to do something. A guide could also be an instruction manual. You get a computer and you need to, how do I, hook up all the cables? You look at the guide. Okay. 10. Oh, very famous, right? Vitamin water. Don't say vitamin, that's Konglish. Vitamin water. Do you drink it? Sometimes I drink it. I like this one here. Okay, that's my favorite. Anyway, an important mineral for your body, because these products have vitamins, which are minerals for your bodies. Vitamin, I just said it, right? But there's a name right here, vitamin water. Say vitamin, not vitamin, that's wrong. Vitamin. Okay, that's the pronunciation for an important mineral for your body. You need vitamin C. You need vitamin D. Your skin needs vitamin E, right? So all these different vitamins help your body do different things. Very important for you. Number 11, this is not so important for you. We like it, it's delicious, but unfortunately, it's not important for our bodies. Having a lot of sugar is sugary. A lot of candy, and this is like gummy candy. Of course, it's very sugary. Chocolate has a lot of sugar in it. Hard candy, all very sugary treats and snacks. So be careful of those. Our body doesn't need them. It's not very important for our body, especially our teeth. Got to be careful, 조심해요. Okay, next one. 12. Happening many times over a time period. If you're using a computer, you're probably hitting certain keys again and again. You're hitting them very often. So you hit certain keys very often, like the enter key or the space bar. You hit that very often. Okay. Next one. Oh, what is he? He's a juggler, right? To throw and catch many things at once, we say juggle. This is the verb to juggle. He is juggling. We can call him, what is his name? He is a juggler, right? The person is a juggler. If he's doing it, we say he is a juggler. What is he doing? He is juggling. To juggle is the verb, okay? To throw and catch many things at once. Can you juggle? Can you do that? If you want to develop that skill, that ability, you have to practice. Okay, next one. 14, yay, that looks like fun. Can you water ski? Maybe you go to Gapyeong, and you go water skiing. I used to do that a long time ago, but my friends who do that, they all left. I'm sad. If you want to go water skiing, call me. Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay. Very amazing, right? Very amazing if he can do that. Incredible. Wow, really incredible. Amazing. So if he can do this, if he can jump, wow, that's incredible. Amazing, right? Okay, next one. This is also incredible and amazing, right? Very incredible costumes. A special happening. Something special that happens, we call it an event. Okay? For example, the Olympics every 4 years. That is an event. Sometimes there will be a festival in different cities, in Venice or New Orleans. They will be events, right? A parade in Seoul is an event. Anything that happens that's special, it's an event. There's so many events happening all the time. Even in Seoul, even in your town, probably there are many events. Last one, number 16, the ability to do difficult things. Wow! Can you believe it? Is it real? Is it true? I think it's trick photography. Unless maybe he's Bruce Willis, then it's true. No, I'm just kidding. The ability to do difficult things, strength. If somebody has a lot of strength, they have the ability to do difficult things. I don't think this is real. It's a trick photography. But think about it. If you can lift a lot of things, if you can pick up a very heavy weight, you have a lot of strength. Okay, so those are the words we need to know for the reading. Let's make sure we remember those words. Let's take a little short quiz on some of those words. Choose the word that best completes a sentence. Here are the words. We need to fill in the blanks with the best word. Okay? Number 1, you need to beep your English if you want to get better. We talked about this. It's not just English. It could be practicing a musical instrument like the piano, the trumpet, or whatever. What do you need to do? Do you need to define? Do you need to become? Do you need to practice, or do you need to skill? Well, skill right away, we see that's a noun. That doesn't make sense. Define, become, practice, those are verbs, and they would fit with to, right? To, we need a verb. But define, become, practice, if you want to get better at something, you need to do it again and again. You need to practice, right? You need to practice your English if you want to get better. You need to practice playing soccer if you want to get better at playing soccer. You need to practice playing the piano if you want to be a better piano player. Okay, so practice. You need to do something. You need to practice if you want to get better. Okay, number 2. I need to beep my homework before I can go to the movies. I need to what my homework? What do you do with your homework that you want to do? You want to get it done, right? So do you want to put your homework? Do you want to become? You want to become my homework. I want to become a book. That's crazy. I want to drop my homework, or I want to complete my homework. What makes sense? Well, obviously, if you looked at complete, that's the one that makes sense. Complete means finish. I want to complete my homework. I want to finish my homework before I can go to the movies. Not put, not become, and not drop. You're going to drop your homework. Let's see. Let's go upstairs and drop it from the roof. No, don't do that, okay? That's not a good idea. You want to complete your homework before you can go to the movies. Okay, next one. 3. You're so good at basketball. Well, baseball. You're so good. That means, 잘해요, right? You're so good at it, right? You should be a professional what? If a person plays a sport, especially for their job, they get paid for it. They are professional. And they are playing a sport and they're getting paid for it. What do we call that job? Doctor, lawyer, engineer, or what? Skill, train, athlete, event. Which one of these words is a description of an actual job? Well, of course, C. An athlete is a description of a particular job. An athlete is someone who plays a sport. A professional athlete is someone who plays a sport and gets money for it. Right? You think about it, that's crazy, right? Somebody gets paid for throwing a ball or running fast. Well, in our society, it's true. Some people get paid a lot of money to play these games. Like, for example, think of Tiger Woods. He gets millions of dollars for playing golf. Sounds like a dream job, right? But of course, they have a lot of talent, they have a lot of skill, and they've worked very hard to attain that skill. Okay, number 4. In a few days, the seed will beep a plant. So again, a seed, of course, is like an apple seed or some other part of the plant that you put in the ground, and then after a while, it eventually grows into a plant, right? So first you have a seed, later you have a plant, right? What happens to the seed? It what? It completes, it becomes, it eventually, or it guides. Of course, we know the answer. Oops. The answer is become. In a few days, the seed will become a plant. So it will change from one thing to another thing. It will become a plant. Okay, so let's move on to number 5. That beep is too great. No one could ever swim that far. Okay, so we kind of know the answer right here. If you're looking at, wow, there's an island out there, be careful, it's very far away, right? That what is too great? That event, that guide, that incredible, or that distance is too great. Remember, the measurement from point A here to point B over there, we're talking about distance. So we say that distance is too great. The distance is too great. No one could ever swim that far. The distance is too great. So the right answer is distance. 6, your English, beep, has improved a lot. All that practice has paid off. So again, we're kind of talking about that idea again, practice. You practice something a lot to improve. What do you want to improve? You improve your ability at something. What is ability? Skill, repeat, grow, or learn. Did you say skill? Then you would be correct, because skill is ability. You practice a skill to become better at it. Your English skill has improved a lot. All that practice has paid off. Practice has paid off means you practiced a lot, so you got the reward. You were successful, right? If something is successful, it has paid off. You were successful. Okay, number 7. Beep, I will start eating better, just not right now. So not right now, not now. Some other time, later. What does that mean? What word would fit in the blank? A, usually I will start eating better. Usually I will start eating better? That doesn't make sense, because usually is for things that happen habitually. So we don't use future tense with usually. Completely, I will start eating better? That doesn't make sense. Suddenly, I will start eating better? That's isanghale. Eventually, eventually, not right now, but later. So eventually is the answer. Eventually, not now, but after some time. Eventually, I will start eating better. A lot of us, we're sometimes lazy, so we say, oh, eventually I'll do it. I'll do it eventually, okay? But not right now, okay? Maybe you should start right now. If you want to do something, do it now. Don't wait for eventually, do it now. Okay, 8. A or an beep meal will keep you healthy. When we talk about eating, we have to eat certain things, right? Different things. We have to eat a certain amount of carbohydrates, or bread and potatoes and rice, right? We have to eat a certain amount of protein, like in meat. We have to eat a certain amount of, we have to drink a certain amount of other things like milk or cheese, dairy products, okay? So we have to make sure we eat all these things and in the right parts, right? So what kind of meal should we have? All meat? No, we need meat, vegetables, something to drink. We need a what kind of meal? A balanced meal, a sugary meal, an exercise meal, or an energy meal? Well, right away, we know sugary meal will not keep us healthy. That's got too much sugar in it. An exercise meal doesn't make sense because we're looking for an adjective, right? Something to modify meal. Exercise is not an adjective. And energy is an adjective, and an energy meal, but that doesn't sound right. That doesn't make sense. What we're looking for is balanced. A balanced meal. A balanced meal has the right amount of each food group, and you eat it. And it's good for you because it's balanced. You get enough protein, you get enough carbohydrates, you get enough vitamins and minerals. It's a balanced meal, and it keeps you healthy. Not too much sugar, right? Maybe a little sugar is okay, but not too much. You need to eat the things in balance. Okay, well, that wraps up the vocabulary section. Let's take a short break here, and we'll come back and look at the reading, how to become a great athlete. So don't go away. We'll be right back.